Good morning. I'm here with Dr. Trina Coleman of Coleman Comprehensive Solutions. I'm Claudel Clark, President and CEO of the Better Business Bureau of Greater Hampton Roads, and we're here with you for another edition of the Coach's Corner. Dr. Coleman, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are
Great
you?
having you here.
Great to
And
be here.
we've just shared so many good thoughts already, but we didn't want to lose those for the camera.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your organization and how you got started and what are you currently doing in your operation?
Okay. Well, thank you once again for having me here. Coleman Comprehensive Solutions started because I realized that, dang, I've done a lot of stuff in IT. I have an extensive background in STEM is what is the hot word now for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But my focus and my discipline, as far as my academic background, is in physics. So I teach physics, and I enjoy helping students and helping people both in the IT realm and in the academic realm. So my business focuses on educational and IT consulting. So a lot of people think they know a lot about IT, and when they start setting up their businesses or even at their home now with having all of those digital devices that are connected to their wireless systems, understanding that you are so vulnerable is a thing that people don't get. So that's one of the things that I'm focusing on now with Coleman Comprehensive Solutions, making people aware of internet safety. I was on Wavy 10 about a month ago talking about internet safety. And so that's what Coleman Comprehensive is about overall, helping people become better stewards of their IT, be it consumers or businesses, and also helping students and lifelong learners with STEM because we are a technological environment. We are building, we have AI and those types of things coming along, and people don't all understand the implications and the ramifications of the good and the bad of those things. So I think I summarized that.
We didn't know you were a Wavy expert.
Oh,
Hats
oh
off to
yeah, I
you on
do
that.
that too.
Well,
Yeah.
as you've grown the company and as the company has advanced, tell us about your leadership style and how you've led the company and led the charge of your consulting.
Okay. Well, my leadership style is lead, but not too far in front of everybody. Make people that you're working with feel like you're working with them, as opposed to constantly reminding them that they're working for you.
That's right.
Because everybody is supposed to be aiming towards the same goal. The leader is there to take the hits for their team. The leader is there to set the strategy for the team. And I think that if you have the mentality that you can be humble enough to say, yes, I'm in charge or I started this initiative, but I need you to help me get across the finish line. Not I demand you or I'm paying you to get across the finish line, because that sets up all kind of rife and strife within an organization. And also finding collaborative partners to work with you puts it in a whole different realm, because you're working with experts. If I need an expert that does, for example, storage of data for other companies. I do have one of those. He works for Fortune 500, Fortune 100s. But having that type of expertise where you pick up the phone and say, hey, I have a job over here, a proposal I want to write. You want to be in this thing? I need you. So my leadership philosophy is to work with those that are willing to work with you, willing to take the back seat, willing to ride shotgun, or whatever it takes to get the project done.
Okay. And you told me about a number of degrees and certifications and qualifications that you've gotten to get to this point. So tell us a little about your educational background, and then how do you continuously professionally develop?
All righty. I am a 3-time Hamptonian. Yes, I am.
Pirates.
Go Pirates, yes. So I have 3 degrees in physics. I have a bachelor's. I have a master's in condensed matter, which studied materials
Okay.
and how they um, interacted with other materials. I'm not going to go into the deep dive. And then I have my PhD in theoretical nuclear physics. So I did a theory degree in a different discipline from the one I did my experimental degree in. So I have a broad spectrum of experience in different fields, and I also have on the job training when it comes down to the IT stuff. Because when I went to Howard as a postdoc, yes, I did go to Howard for a postdoc as a job, not a student.
Right.
I was doing unclassified research right after 9/11 with the CIA. So that also brought a new dimension to looking at how things get done, because we had a lot of challenges after 9/11. And so putting all of that in one bucket and then saying, oh, I like being here. I don't want to just be a postdoc because that's a temporary thing. That helps you prepare to be a person that is employed full time. I said, okay, I want to do that. Y'all are working on this thing over here. I want to help you guys get the technology and solve this problem. I'm a problem solver, and physics problems sometimes take decades to solve. I want to solve stuff and move on and make things better.
Okay.
So that's basically what my background is. And here I am now, business owner, doing both things that I have been prepared to do.
Good. So through all that, getting those degrees, obtaining those consulting contracts, a lot of pressure, a lot of competition, a lot of adversity. How have you handled that? How have you persevered? And how have you been able to secure the contracts to push your company forward?
Good question. Let me give you a first heads up on right after I started my company, which was in 2016. In 2017, my younger sister had a severe stroke, and she also has MS.
Okay.
So when that happened, I had to prioritize. I'm like, okay.
You had to pivot.
I pivoted big time. I'm like, okay, I'm just getting started out the gate here, but family, business. I got to go and take care of my family and make sure she's
first.
good. She was in North Carolina. I went through a whole guardianship thing and bringing her to Hampton and all of that. So that took a lot of time, and it took a lot of me not being able to focus on the business 100%. However, I was able to still say, look, Trina, you have to do what you have to do. But at the same time, you made a commitment to yourself.
That's right.
That you're not going to go and work for anybody else anymore. So that's what I'm doing. Contracts come and go. There have been opportunities that I've had to turn away because of my obligation to my sister, because my travel was limited as far as how far I could go and how long I could be away. So those things were impediments slightly, but at the same time, I did not let them deter me from continuing on to build my company. And this is what I tell people after I left my job. How you doing, Trina? How's business? I say, I still have all of my stuff. All my stuff. And actually, I have some more stuff. But, because, sometimes people just kind of don't want to see you do well.
Right.
So yeah, I keep it moving.
Okay.
And $1 million years of profit. Have not had one.
Okay.
Working on it. That's why I'm here talking to you.
That's right. Be helping you to build up.
Yes, and that's also another reason why I am on the Minority Business Commission for the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Tell us a little bit more about that. We talked about
it's
that,
amazing.
But we want to hear more.
Yes. Okay, and that's one of the things that I think is important. Our previous governor, Governor Northam, started the Minority Business Commission, so I am actually one of the inaugural members of said commission. We have 3 citizen commissioners, and then the rest of them come from the House and Senate in the Commonwealth. We are to technically be coming together to put together policy, things like that, to help minority businesses thrive in the Commonwealth.
Certainly.
We've gotten a little bit of a slow start We had a change of administration, etc. But being on the commission is something that I, am honored to serve on, and to also be a minority business, find ways where I can help shape policy to make the level to level the playing field a little bit more for minority businesses, because there's a lot of little stuff built into the wording of RFPs and things like that, and a lot of businesses like me that are a one person show, we kind of get pushed to the side because there are those larger businesses that qualify as small based on their numbers. They can have 99 employees and be a small business. 101, they cannot. But as long as they stay below that number, they're good to go. Or a woman-owned business, doesn't have to be a black woman, but it can be a woman-owned business. It doesn't have to be small as long as it's woman-owned. So there are those types of things that are challenges for minority-owned businesses, having capital and being aware of certain opportunities and things like that. So the commission is very important to me, and I think we're going to do some great things for the Commonwealth.
Well, it sounds like the commission is going to serve as a great resource, much like we try to do here at the BBB to businesses such as yourself.
Exactly.
The marketing is great. Getting leads to your business at times is great. Allowing your enhanced or regular seals to be on our website is great. But we want to serve as this resource.
Yes.
Can you get small business development information from us, or financing information, or taxation information, or human resource information from us? So it was a great tie-in that you talked about the commission. Very similar strategies that we try to use here at the BBB to outreach to businesses such as yourself. But you talked about also in there about this $1 million year one day that you'd like to get to.
I would love to.
But even if you got there, so many times in sports, you just want to win. You just want a championship. You just want to win X amount of games. But until you set a goal, until you understand why you're trying to get there, what does it really mean? So how do you measure success? Is that 5 consultation or consulting contracts in 1 year? Is that $1 million year? Is that something personally that you wanted to achieve? How does Coleman Comprehensive Solutions say that you've had a successful quarter or a successful year?
You know how I measure success, and this is probably an unorthodox answer, is how many clients I solve problems for. It's not about the money. If it were about the money, that'd be a whole different situation. But I tell people I have the worst business model ever, because I want to empower my clientele to be able to do things for themselves, particularly the IT side of my business, which is right now predominantly where my revenue comes from. But if I'm helping you with a problem that you're having at your business, hypothetically, say you want to build a new website. I've helped many clients understand what goes into building the website, maintaining the website, and making sure that they have presence on the web. And a lot of companies just hire somebody, and that person will register the domain for that website under their name, not under the company's name.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, let's first of all find out if you own your own domain or not, and things like that. So I measure success by getting it right, putting a smile on my client's face, also moving forward into the STEM education portion of it is the light bulb moments, as I call them, when a student gets it. Like I said, my background is in physics. I've taught physics. I'm actually building an online course platform for STEM, math, science, and some other disciplines that I'm going to allow to be on the platform. And so measuring success in that manner is going to be how many students benefited from taking my courses on my platform. How many students passed physics? Physics is very difficult to pass. How many students passed calculus? So looking at that $1 million year, it might not be, it's not going to be this year. But, that $1 million year is going to parallel with those smiles and those happy clients that are now empowered to say, oh, I can fix that, or I understand what's going on here, and I'm being overcharged or whatever for some service that they're getting. And so that's where my success is.
Well, let's go there. You talked about STEM.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about students. Anytime you're talking about education and students, you're talking about impact.
Yes.
What kind of community impact or educational impact has your business had in this region?
Wow. Well, several. I have conducted STEM camps.
Okay.
So a lot of students, which I found out, it was shocking, but I'm like, I got this. I did a STEM camp specifically in 2019 called 400 Years of STEM.
Okay.
And I had it in Hampton at the Hampton History Museum, where they have the whole 1619 exhibit. I was board member, so I was it was like, okay, I want to have my camp here.
Okay.
So I brought students in, and we did STEM exercises. One of them was navigational, one of them was mathematical. I found the blueprints online for the moat at Fort Monroe.
Mm.
So it had all the measurements
Okay.
and all the surface area and stuff like that. So we did calculations of the surface area. And we also did animation because I was an ambassador for a company called Powtoon.
Okay.
And so they all had Powtoon accounts, and they created their Powtoon based on what their perception of what the 1619 2019 was about.
Okay. Okay.
So I've done STEM camps. I did STEM camp for Weiss Thomas's after school project in Hampton. And I also did an online STEM camp right after COVID started. I'm like, well, we're not going to wait till summertime. Let's just put it on the platform, and parents can have something to give their children extra activities to do while they're at home. So I saw all of those as wins. And I'm also working on a program called Frontline STEM, which is to help students that are coming to college, who want to be doctors or engineers or whatever, who are lacking the proficiency in mathematics, or went to high schools that did not have physics or calculus.
Okay.
Because a lot of students, particularly the ones I interact with at HBCUs, come from areas where their schools didn't offer those courses that they need when they get to college. So
People
I'm
don't
working.
realize that. You just take for granted that all courses are offered everywhere, but that's not true.
They're not. They're not. And even if they are, some students are denied access to those classes.
Okay.
So my frontline STEM approach is to give them access to my platform, build out courses, give them the basics. And even during COVID, when they were trying to learn algebra and trigonometry at home by themselves, that's a bust.
Okay.
You have to have engagement.
Okay.
You have to at least have a study group, have access to your professor or someone who can help you with calculus and trigonometry. That's just one of those things that, unless you're a genius, you just
Not
can't
figure it out on your
you
own.
can't figure it
Okay,
out.
okay,
So
okay.
that's the STEM education part, the subject matter expert part, and also the IT consulting comes from my actual work experience, which was great. I liked working with vendors. I like shooting down vendors when they're trying to sell me a load of crap. It's one of my favorite things to do. I have done IT audits before with PricewaterhouseCoopers and a whole lot of different companies. So I bring a lot of experience to my business. One of the challenges, which I will say, Better Business Bureau is excellent. I've not had a bad experience with you guys.
Okay.
I'm not just saying that because I'm here, but you guys actually reach out, check on people. How you doing? Is there anything we can do to help? If you are having an issue with how much this thing might cost, we can make it cost. Make it work for you.
Yeah.
And so I have nothing but the highest regard for the Better Business Bureau and what they do to help businesses out, particularly with me. Even my little challenges, Elizabeth knows all about what's going on in my whole life. And so that's pretty cool that you guys actually do what you do, and you want to make sure that all of your clientele has the best they can get from you guys.
Well, as we said earlier, we want to serve as a resource.
Exactly.
Many of our businesses serve as resources in their respective communities and their respective circles. And it's our job, it's a big job, but it's our job to serve as a resource to all of you all.
Yes.
You talked in your answer so eloquently about the giving back to students, giving back by way of STEM, giving back and releasing bottlenecks when it comes to subject matters or problems that they had. So that's part of your corporate culture, right? This giving back, this access to education, this community impact. But what are some of your other corporate or personal values that make your business successful?
Good question. Knowing when to say no, and knowing when someone approaches you and they're genuine about it, as opposed to, okay, you can benefit me by being, let me say you're a part of this contract, as opposed to, let us work together so that we can both benefit. And as part of the Rotary four-way test, I'm a Rotarian. No, is it the truth? Is it fair for all concerned? Does it build goodwill and better friendships? And is it beneficial to all concerned? So if those things don't check off, then, it's not a good place to be. So I think that overall, being strategic about how you move forward with your business doesn't have to be a sprint. It can be a fast walk. It can be a jog, but making sure that you're doing what you think is best for the business and what's best for you, because at the end of the day, small businesses like mine also need a little mental health check every now and then. So you can go forward the next day. And that's the pressure, adversity, disappointment, all of that's going to happen and it's going to come. How you deal with it and get up and move forward.
Learn from it.
And learn from it and make sure that whatever the postmortem is on that, you understand what your position or your fault may have been in it, if you had some fault in it, but understand your opponent. My favorite quote is from Marcus Aurelius. The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. That's my favorite quote. And so,
it's just being real.
It is.
Good
It's
sense
like,
of reality in your business.
I know you're rogue, so I'm going to treat you like I know you're rogue. I mean, in general, I'm not saying everybody's rogue, but you need to know who you're working with and what their philosophy is and how they're going to work with you as well.
Well, in your business, it's a lot of innovation. It's a lot of, this year's over, this quarter's over, here's the next quarter, here's the next year. So how do you go about reinventing yourself? Because the times are changing.
Yes, they are.
Regardless of your degrees,
yes,
the great accomplishments that you shared.
Yes.
You talked AI earlier. You talked evolving technology. You talked about the competition gaining strength.
Yes.
In your area, all of us have competition. Strengths, weaknesses, threats. Yeah, we know how that works.
SWOT of
right?
It all. Yeah.
But how do you continuously reinvent yourself to change greater than that rate of external change, as they say?
Yes. Well, one thing that people should focus on or not is not trying to chase that next thing. So if you're not an expert in AI, don't try to become one overnight, because AI is that thing that's popular right now. I mean, it was, 5 years or so, it was like coding. Everybody get your kids into coding. And
franchises popping up
all over the place. Coding. Coding for you. You can't code. XYZ code, whatever. But figuring out what you want to do. If you need to pivot. But that doesn't mean reinvent yourself from the ground up, because that takes a lifetime. You are what you are inherently. You do what you do. You know what you know. And so staying on the cusp of innovation is one thing that, being in the IT realm There are things that I do need to stay up on, and I focus on those things as necessary, particularly when it comes to advising people that run large organizations such as higher ed, what they could do better, but they don't have to like try to jump in front of the line and be the first one to put in a whole AI robotics lab somewhere, especially if they cannot afford it, just to try to be competitive. Um, so looking at innovation from a realistic perspective, for example, there's so many gadgets out now and so many ways we can communicate with each other using our smartphones and how smart our homes can be now. Understanding the ramifications of, am I doing this right? Where's my weakest link? Because there's one of those devices that's your weakest link. And learning. And so trying to help people learn. And a lot of folks I have found out need to learn, but they don't want to admit what they don't know.
Okay.
So I found that to be a challenge when I first opened up, because I was like, oh man, because the elders at my church love it when I do technology day. I have technology day. They bring their little phones and stuff, and they have tablets, and we have a great time because they learn something. And so, but when you're running a business and you're like, look, if you need help, because I used to have a thing I called, when I had a brick and mortar, I called it Walk-in Wednesdays. And I'm like, okay, you can come into my business for like 10, 15 bucks or something. And if you want to have a walk-in Wednesday and have me show you how to do this, or something's not working right, then come on over. It's Walk-in Wednesdays. Didn't work so well. Because nobody really wants to admit that they don't know what they don't know. So I hope I answered your question.
Oh, absolutely. This is raw content and raw feedback from subject matter experts. There's no wrong answer. We're all learning as we speak here. If I were trying to get into your shoes as it relates to your field, your profession, your business, aspiring student, person's changing careers, person's adding some things to their toolbox as it relates to their own business, as it relates to IT. How do we follow in Dr. Coleman's footsteps and get to your level of success? What advice would you give us?
I would say, wow, I had a good answer for you too.
That's all right.
Know your audience and have a great marketing strategy, because that is what's going to determine how well and how quickly you scale. Marketing, networking to a degree, but I think marketing is more important because you can meet people. Some people are going to say, yes, set up something with me and we can talk. And then you try to set it up and it doesn't happen.
No follow through.
That part. Or the fact that a lot of times when you're networking, you may not be in the right room with the right people.
That's right.
So marketing will bring the right people to you as opposed to you trying to find the right people. And sometimes you may know someone who knows a person that is in need of your services. And that happens. But I think that if I had a do-over, or if I move forward from today, finding that right marketing strategy and having someone who can do your marketing that understands what you do, because that's also a very, very important aspect of it. You can't have people working with or for you that don't understand what you do. So understanding that and being able to help make contributions to the overall organization is priceless.
Good. Well, we'll finish and we'll come back to scaling. Our next conversation, we'll talk about scaling. That's a popular topic people always want to hear about. But to finish this segment, what is you've had success by way of your education and your background and your experiences and being able to pivot and use that strategy. But you've also been an accredited business with the BBB here. How has that benefited you? What benefits had you seen, and why would you recommend this to another business that was looking at BBB accreditation?
Because well, yeah, and I'm not just accredited. I'm A plus
A plus
accredited.
rated. Okay.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
A
Top
plus,
tier.
top tier A plus accredited BBB business.
And how long?
I've been a member since what 2016 or
Okay.
2017.
Okay.
It's
I just
been
want everybody to hear that.
yeah, it's been a while.
Longevity.
See, I don't even know what year it was. It's been that long. But yeah,
It's 2016, I believe.
over 5 years
Okay.
definitely. I'm running for my 10-year
Oh, yeah,
anniversary.
we had to give you a certificate. We'll be out to take that photo with you.
Okay,
No.
and bring a cake and some more stuff. But yeah, so what would I tell someone about becoming a member
Mm-hmm.
and what it means? Okay, well, first of all, you get this cool branding package from BBB, and you get these links, and they link directly to you on their page from your website, from your email, wherever you put the little logo. And it tells everybody what they need to know about your business. And so BBB does a great job of making sure that you get seen. And that's something that nobody else really does for you. You have to literally make things happen on your own in order to be seen. Just like with browser searches, you have to do your own SEO, and so you can be found. You don't have to do that with BBB. You just have that little logo, click, and it takes you right there. So that is a benefit that I've seen. Just that is been priceless. I mean, I know it has a price on it, but as far as what it
The
does,
return on the investment.
yeah, the ROI.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I'll say that. But also, it gives you a sense of people feeling that your business has more of a seal of approval because they see that torch, and so when they see that torch, yeah, oh, okay. She's special.
Right.
She's got the little blue torch on her thing.
Well,
So
in-house, we call it sign of a better business.
sign of a better
Right.
business. So yeah, so I think that just having the presence and letting people know that BBB has popped your collar, as they say, is priceless
Okay.
for real. So yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Well, Dr. Coleman, this has been an exhilarating and an informative session, and we just can't thank you enough. We salute you, the community impact, the trailblazing that you've done with these institutions, the educational accomplishments and awards that you've gotten, just the great things that you've done, the kind of shining light in your community that you've been, and you certainly help, along with the other accredited businesses that we have, just propel the BBB forward. So we just can't thank you enough for your investment, your stay with us, and your contributions.
Well, thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Anytime.